You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Hello, welcome to the Hockey Show. My name is Roy Bellamy. That's David Druk of the Hockey News. We are going to get into the Oilers side of what happened in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. And we're also going to... Yeah, we know that. They lost. That's what happened. Like, I've been getting complaints that we are, quote-unquote, the Panthers show instead of the Hockey Show from some guy named Mango on YouTube. And to that guy, I can say, you can kiss my ass. But anyway...
Mango, like the character from SNL?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know SNL. There's an SNL character named
Oh,
Mango.
no, back in the day, Chris Kattan, Mango. Like, you don't remember that guy?
No.
For another time, we'll do.
I stopped watching after Norm Macdonald got fired. But that's
neither here nor there.
That's neither here nor there.
Norm was great Weekend Update host.
Yes.
Very underrated.
Yes, he was excellent. And I stopped watching once he left. But again, here nor there. We're also going to talk about the it's wedding season right now, and
it's the summer.
Yeah, it's the summer.
When hockey players get married.
It's cuffing season right now. So that's what's going on. We're going to talk about that in a second, but first we're going to get into a bit of hockey news. Coming out of Toronto right now, we have a new captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The 26th captain in team history is now Austin Matthews.
And his mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he needs a haircut and a shave, really.
I mean, they went from the veteran guy in John Tavares to, the heir apparent. I mean, Austin Matthews, he's, the best goal scorer in the league right now. He had like 70 whatever goals or, 69 goals. Yeah. Nice.
Here nor there.
No, but I get it, right? He's a good leader. Like, I feel like he's a guy that kind of steps up. He takes responsibility. Like, he's a good captain candidate. It makes sense. It's a little strange when a guy hands the C to another guy when they're both still playing on the team. It doesn't happen all that often.
Right, yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a good choice.
I assume that John Tavares is going to end up being an alternate captain and get the A on his jersey, but him losing the captaincy is that's weird, man.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Like, I was looking up like past times where a guy was stripped or gave off the captaincy. It actually happened kind of back-to-back times in San Jose back in like the late 2000, early 2010s, when first Patrick Marleau lost the C after like one of their many playoff collapses. Because remember, the Sharks back then, they were in the playoffs like every year. They were a cup contender every year. They finally got to the cup. But yeah, so after one of their collapses, they stripped Patrick Marleau, gave it to Joe Thornton. Yeah. And then the same thing happened to Joe Thornton a couple of years later. So it's rare, right? Like, I remember what happened with the Panthers, Mango. But that was because Derek McKenzie was retiring, right?
Yeah.
And they had that whole like mountaintop, it was like an army mountaintop thing where like they had a ceremony where they gave it to Barkov. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, I don't think there's any like, bad blood or ill will in this situation. Like, I don't think it's a situation where, John Tavares is like wringing his hands like, oh, they took my C. Like, I think it's okay.
I mean, usually when you see that happen, it's usually the captain ends up moving on to another team. He gets traded or goes away in free agency. Like Wendell Clark, that happened to him when he left Toronto. He went to Quebec, I believe.
Ah, the Nordiques, as I called them when I was a little kid before I knew anything. Right, yeah. Rose, the Quebec Nordiques?
No, what? No.
You don't know French, do you?
Oh, yeah. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Okay, well, there you go. Do you know what Nordique is?
North.
There you go. Yeah, the Quebec Northmen. That's the name of what was the Quebec Nordiques.
Yeah, the Colorado Avalanche now.
Before they moved to Colorado.
They had great uniforms.
Yes, I love those uniforms.
The Joe Sakic days and those white Nordiques uniforms, so clean.
Even when they redid, they rebooted that alternate jersey for Colorado.
Oh, for the reverse retro thing?
Yeah, they made it in the Avalanche colors.
Yeah, the purple or whatever. It was okay.
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
when I went to Colorado for the Cup Final against Tampa, I was looking for that cap. All they had was, the state flag C with the sun in the middle.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
I wouldn't mind if they had just the foot logo. They used to have the foot
that's
on
gone.
The shoulder.
Like, they don't even have the Sasquatch anymore as a mascot. It's a St. Bernard.
I thought that used to be, it was the most appropriate thing. When they had a guy named Foot wearing a jersey that had a foot on the jersey, that felt right.
Yeah, and Mike Ricci, who looked like a foot.
Yeah, and then he went to play for the Sharks.
Yes, and of course. He was never captain of that team.
No, Mike Ricci, Fun player to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe not captain material.
No. Moving on to the New York Rangers, who will be losing Sam Rosen, who's been in the broadcast booth for them for 40 years. Yeah. And this will be his 40th and final season coming up for them. And he's had, I would say, two of the most famous calls in league history.
Yeah, definitely Rangers history.
In the same year.
Yeah.
In the same year, mind you. And the first one, which we will throw to here, is the overtime goal from Stephane Matteau that won the Eastern Conference Final against the New Jersey Devils that sent them to the Stanley Cup Final against the Vancouver Canucks. Here it is.
Fetisov, it went off the leg, stays in the Devils zone. Matteau goes for the puck. Matteau around the net. Matteau puts it. Score! Score! The Rangers win! The Rangers win! They're going to the finals! The Rangers win!
Very cool. Obviously, everybody remembers Howie Rose's call.
Yeah, I would say that would be the more famous of the two. But as far as video is concerned, on television, that would be one of the most famous.
And both of them, what I love, and you heard it there in Rosen's voice, and we'll hear it again in a minute, is just you can hear the, I don't want to say the unprofessionalism, the emotion, the personal, how important it is to him. The Rangers are going to the Stanley Cup Final. You felt it. We felt something like that a month ago or whenever it was. When the Panthers won, it was
when was the previous time that they won the Stanley Cup?
1940.
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why. The Panthers are 30 years now, no, 31 years old now.
Yeah. As
they head into the new season, they had never won the Stanley Cup in their 3 appearances. They've won 1 this season.
Yeah.
So from that aspect, we've been waiting 30 years for that to happen. Just think about Rangers fans. Think about that famous sign of the guy holding up in the stand saying, "Now I can die in peace," in Game 7, which we will get to in a second. Think about that. For them to go to the Stanley Cup Final, that was a big thing.
Oh yeah.
And they were favored to win, although that Vancouver Canucks team, that's a pretty stacked team.
No, it was half Cinderella, half Pavel Bure, Trevor Linden, Kirk McLean played out of his mouth. Yeah, he had that Game 1, I think 56 or 57 saves in Game 1 at MSG that year.
Yeah, it's 2 hot goalies going into that series.
It was a great playoff. It was a great final. That Eastern Conference Final that we just saw end against the Rangers Devils series, Messier's guarantee in Game 6. Keenan benching Richter. I think it was game 4.
Yeah, he benched a lot of players in his career.
Well, you remember what he did.
Start on that one, by the way.
Remember what he did with the Panthers goalies? I think it was 01 or 02 with Luongo and Trevor Kidd when he literally was platooning them every whistle.
And literally traded one of them.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we're getting off topic about Iron Mike Keenan.
So, back to
don't get me started.
Howie Rose. It's sad, dude. Yeah. I'm gonna miss him. One of the first times I saw him in the press box, when I covered Panthers back in 2018 or 19, I had to take a picture with him.
Yeah,
it was just cool. He's been around forever, and he's so good. The first thing I think when you say Howie Rose, it's a power play goal.
Sam Rosen.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Howie Rose.
I said Howie Rose.
Right now, Howie Rose, I feel bad for him because he has to cover the Mets. I'm sorry, Howie.
Well.
But yeah, Sam Rosen, it's a power play goal, which
that's iconic.
Yeah, Keith Olbermann always makes fun of Sam Rosen about that. I don't know why. It's a power play goal, but
it is a power play goal.
But yeah,
and it sounds great when he says it.
Yeah, it does. It does. It puts a lot of emphasis on that one. The other, I would probably say one of the most famous calls in league history from Sam Rosen is Game 7, the final call, the one that won it all for the Rangers. Let's hear that.
The waiting is over. The New York Rangers are the Stanley Cup champions. And this one will last a lifetime.
Captain Mark Messier, come get the Stanley Cup.
See, now the thing about this
Tina Turner's song, Simply the Best, blaring on the loudspeaker.
Yeah.
That's the song the Rangers listen to.
That's John Davidson.
Before the game.
Now, we are watching right now
3 years ago.
Mark Messier lift the cup.
Stanley Cup. And there it is.
It's cool seeing this after kind of, as I said a minute ago, kind of experiencing our version of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers have their Sam Rosen in a man who listened to Sam Rosen growing up,
Yeah.
Steve Goldstein. So it's cool to have that kind of like a not connection, but it's like the similarities. Just makes you feel like you're part of it a little bit.
Well, here's the thing about that call. The clock was winding down, and the Rangers ended up icing the puck with 2 seconds left. And Sam was just about to go into his – actually, he started the final call early because of that icing call. So when you hear him say, the waiting is over, this will last a lifetime, it's because of that icing call.
Yeah.
So, he one of the most famous calls of all time was affected by an icing.
Yeah, and a lot of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Because fans were throwing it all on the ice. It was like it was celebration time. They had to clear it all off, had to get ready for the face-off. That must have been excruciating for every Rangers fan in that building because you've been waiting 54 years, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, my God.
It's up to a face-off.
It's about to get taken away from us with 1 point whatever seconds left.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Speaking of Game 7s in the Stanley Cup Final, the Edmonton Oilers lost.
That's a good segue.
Yeah, well, it just happens to be that way.
That was good.
We planned these things. We have pre-production meetings for such a thing. So, the Oilers lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final this season to the Florida Panthers, and a couple things happened. First thing was Connor McDavid won Conn Smythe. He won the Conn Smythe Trophy. He did not go out to accept it.
No.
And we actually do have a video of that, and you can play the B-roll on that one. You can see the dejected faces of all the Edmonton Oilers.
In the background, you can actually hear Jerry Bettman announcing Connor McDavid's name.
Yeah. Actually, you can hear it right now.
Yeah.
I can hear it because the pot's up. There it is right there.
And there he is, sitting in the locker room. I wonder if, when they heard that, if, they all kind of looked at him, if anybody glanced over to see, I know how I handle losses. There was a time in my life where if the Dolphins lost, you did not want to be near me on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And granted, my adult life has been a lot of rough Sundays.
Yeah.
So and that has that's just nowhere close to what any of these men are feeling right now. So I can't even imagine.
I would hate to be
that
the
cameraman.
Well,
how awkward must that have been?
Yeah. I would hate to be the locker room attendant, having to fetch the Conn Smythe Trophy and then walk into the locker room and just dump that right in front of Connor McDavid. Poof, there you go.
Feel bad for the locker room attendant in Edmonton after Panthers lost Game 6.
That was. I don't think we can talk about that, but
all we can say is it took a while for us to get in the locker room.
Yeah,
took a little while.
Yeah, it took a little bit. I mean, if I was in the locker room, I would have done the same thing.
No, not judging them or calling it anything other than what it was. Edmonton probably feeling much worse than that.
Yeah.
But the exhaustion, they were all so dejected, so tired. And then, in the midst of all that, Zach Hyman took it upon himself to speak to his teammates. I liked what he said, Roy. Let's play it. Let's hear it, and then we'll talk about it.
Hey, there's nothing that's going to make this feel better. You can have nothing we say. But I know we're going to be back. I know it. I know we're going to be back to it. I know it in my heart. This is the worst feeling in the world. I hope everybody comes back because this team's special.
Well, Stan Bowman, now the general manager and running the team. Before he got there, they made a little bit of changes to the club. But yeah, for the most part, they're still there, and they most likely would win the Western Conference Final this upcoming season. But I mean, that remains to be seen. But he's absolutely right. It doesn't make him feel any better, but in the moment, that's something I would actually love to hear.
Yeah. You know what that reminded me of? Matthew Tkachuk from a year before.
Yeah.
When he went to everybody and said, we'll be back. We're going to get there. That's what he said when they had the training camp. So that when I first saw that video, I'm like, wow, this is very, very familiar. And I don't know if Zach Hyman is, him and Matthew Tkachuk are maybe not the same guys, but to hear him kind of make those claims in that moment, and as you said, something that you'd want to hear if you were sitting there like that, it says something about who that player is, what kind of man he is, and I like that.
This is a learning experience for the Edmonton Oilers, much like the Florida Panthers the season before. if they win the Stanley Cup final. Good on them this upcoming season. And we'll see. We will see once the season starts in about a month and a half. So moving on to something a little bit lighter. Alex Ovechkin is a fat guy now. We've seen him play soccer just recently. And Dave, he looked pretty plump.
I mean, as a person who used to be skinny and is now pretty plump, I can sympathize. Again, with the Dynamo Riga sweater or jersey there. It's not a sweater, but look, at this point, I mean, Alex Ovechkin, write his own ticket.
Yeah.
Especially back home in Russia. Like, that man is beloved there. He's made no secrets about, he's got love back. He's got love for everything back home, and, it's fine, whatever. I don't know. It's funny. I saw on maybe DraftKings. I'm not totally sure, but somebody had a future bet out for Ovechkin to break Gretzky's record this season. What is he, like 42 goals, 41 goals, something like that?
Just about, yeah.
I want to say it was plus 1,300.
Oh, that's going to end up getting lower. What once seemed unbreakable is within reach.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable, really, man.
That's incredible consistency by Ovechkin.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like multiple seasons of scoring 40.
Man, if
that'd get it done. That's like Hank Aaron, dude.
Would have let the Panthers draft him with that whole leap year malarkey that they tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
But good for you, Ovi. You play soccer after the hockey career. Maybe break some Russian soccer goal records because obviously he's got a knack for putting the biscuit in the basket.
Alex Ovechkin, like I wouldn't be surprised if he bought a KHL team or whatever leagues in Russia right now. I wouldn't be surprised. Be like Jaromir Jagr over there.
Yeah, I mean, Sergei Fedorov, he took over as GM of CSKA.
Pavel Bure.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I would imagine he's going to stay in hockey.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And maybe you'll see his son grow up to be the next generation.
Yeah,
the next one. Yeah, the next one would
the
be
the next great 8.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool for him. We did see a video of his son, as usual, playing hockey. I mean, that little guy can go at any rink.
He's had a stick in his hand since before he could walk.
Yeah, he came out of the womb with a stick.
He's probably going bar down, before his first birthday.
Yeah, he's going to be sending one-timers from the face-off circle on power plays. Yeah. As I said before, it is cuffing season, and these mofos are getting married now, man. They're getting hitched. And this is the only time of year that they can actually do it.
Right. You know how it is with weddings. You have the long planning. Yeah, a lot goes into it, so you can't do that during the season.
And the most recent addition to the husband club right now in the league is Connor McDavid. So this is the whole reason that we're talking about this is as I watch the McDavid wedding pictures and I've been thinking about other weddings that I've seen recently and maybe not so recently. What is up with hockey players taking their shirts off or opening their shirts at weddings? I've been to a ton of weddings, so I get it. It's hot. You're dancing. You're drinking. Okay, but just when did it become appropriate to just start, flaunting everything? I get it. They're all cut. They're good. Yeah. So I was wondering, has this been a thing for a while? And then we found this video that you see here. This is Ovechkin's wedding back in 2017. Not quite as plump as he is now. Oh yeah,
8 years later, 6 years later. But yeah, so I guess it's an acceptable thing for hockey players. I know, recently, Adam Fox got married, Panthers, Carter Verhaeghe got married, Eetu Oosterainen. Last summer was Sam Reinhart. I don't know. Do I take my shirt off at the next wedding? Are they going to kick me out if I try that?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually looking forward to the pictures of Matthew Tkachuk's wedding coming up.
That's going to be wild.
That's going to be insane. Between him and his brother, hell, maybe we'll see Keith Tkachuk with his shirt off.
What are the odds on Walt getting topless?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Rose thinks we're going to get an invite.
No, they no. Most likely, I mean, we would try to drink them under the table, except they'll probably lift the table.
No, I don't think we could hang. I mean, maybe the only chance we could have is that these guys don't drink a lot during the season. So the tolerance could be lower if we get them early enough in the summer that there'd be a chance.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be mid-June. It's gonna be, or at least the very first week of the off season, before the draft. Maybe we can get them then.
Well, now we got some goals.
All right, that was the hockey show for this week. Next week there is no hockey show because I will be in Key West cooking, basically. Rose will be there.
I'll be waiting for leftovers here.
If there are any.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
if
not.
there are any. So
We'll have fun?
I hope so because that's going to be wild. Being out in the open ocean and fishing, catching lobster, and we got tri-tips, New York strip, turkey breast, baby back ribs. Those are 4 proteins that we are going to be cooking that Sunday. So
Season.
Yep. It won't be dry. It won't be unseasoned. It'll be very flavorful, much like this show. That's David Dwork. Rose is in the other studio. Jason's in the video. I think Gino's back there as well. So
All-star crew, man.
yeah, we appreciate you guys for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks.